In this lesson, we're going to do some practice with pseudo-synonyms. Those words that are almost but not quite synonymous and serve as distractors and wrong answers in sentence equivalents. So let's review some ways to study for these. You want to learn the most common synonyms for words because pseudo-synonyms are going to be less commonly used as synonyms even in less formal general English use, and they won't be used as synonyms at all in the more formal academic English found on the GRE. And you want to especially study common synonyms for tougher vocabulary, for that GRE level vocabulary, because those synonyms will be more likely to be true synonyms and the right answers. And yeah, like I said, you're really looking at GRE level vocab words. Those tend to be the correct answers, while the false synonyms tend to be a little bit easier. And above all, remember the can something be A without being B test. If something can be described as one word without necessarily also being described as the other word, then those two words are likely pseudo-synonyms. With that in mind, let's go through some example exercises. So here, can you find the real synonyms and the false ones in these three pairs of words? Pause the video, see if you can figure this out, and then we'll talk about it. Welcome back. So, evident and manifest do mean the same thing. Basically, they mean something that is very apparent, can easily be seen as true. So these are correct. If these were in a real question, they would be correct. Diligent and efficient. I would argue that these are pseudo-synonyms because diligent and efficient both relate to doing good work that's productive, that's probably productive. However, it's possible to be diligent, hardworking, and not do things in the easiest way possible, which is part of being efficient. Efficient is doing things in the easiest way so you get maximum return for your diligence. So, can be A without being B. These are false synonyms. Observe and interpret. To me, these seem distant enough. I don't think I would really say that these are false synonyms, that you can observe something without interpreting it at all, and perhaps it doesn't even need interpretation. So those aren't that close. So we will say that the false ones here are diligent and efficient. The real ones are evident and manifest. And C, these are just mismatched. Let's look at another example. Okay, so here we have a full set of answer choices. We have these 6 answer choices, but what we don't have here is an actual full question. So if you were just looking at these answer choices, could you pick out the false synonyms? And you should be able to do this even on a regular question. Context can give you extra clues, but the answer choices themselves should point to false and true synonyms. So pause the video, take a look at this, and then we'll talk about it. Welcome back again. So the correct synonyms are mendacious and dishonest. These both mean being deliberately deceptive. So let's look at the false synonyms. Well, disreputable is a false synonym to dishonest. It looks like there's a link here, but it's a broken link. It's possible for a thing to be disreputable because it's dangerous, rather than dishonest. It's possible for something or someone to be disreputable because they have an undeserved bad reputation but are dishonest. So it can be A without being B, so that doesn't pass that litmus test. And then turbulent. Turbulent means having some abrupt interruptions or being rough physically in some way. Fast-paced means happening very quickly. Well, something can be fast-paced and still smooth. So again, we have this seeming link, but the link is broken enough that we don't really have synonyms. So let's look at one more example. So here we're going to do a full question, and we'll see if you can use these strategies to find the pseudo-synonyms. So again, pause the video and try to figure this out yourself, and then we will talk about it. Let's see if you found the correct answers. So, machinating and scheming, well, these are synonymous with each other. They both mean making these sort of careful, possibly secret plans to better your position. In other words, to jockey for a more estimable position. So what are the false ones? Networking and collaborating. And again, there's this apparent link, but it's a broken link. Because networking simply means meeting other people that you might work with later, making social or professional connections. Collaborating means actually working together with people in a team. Now, you can be networking to look for people to collaborate with, but you can be networking without collaborating. You can collaborate with people you already know. You can network with people and not ultimately work with them in a team. So those are the false synonyms. And bargaining and muckraking, they're relatively easy to eliminate because they're just not similar to each other or really similar to much of anything else. So again, we have the correct answers in the false synonyms outlined at the bottom here. Study this carefully. Make sure you understand how this pattern works because, again, these pseudo-synonyms are very, very important in sentence equivalence.